Hey guys, Bird Yu-Gi-Oh here. So today coming at you with my Mermail deck. I should have posted it a few days ago, but I was actually working on stuff for when we hit 2,000 subscribers, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's get right into this one. Starting off with one of the best of the bigger Mermails that you want to see in all your opening hands. Abysseus. Basically, you just discard this and one other water monster, special summon in from your hand, and then you'll also be able to add a level 4 or lower Mermail from your deck to your hand. The other big one we play is Megalo. Just two of him, really good for going second. You have to discard two other water monsters, and then you can special summon him. And when he is special summoned, you can add an Abyss, Spell, and Trap from your deck to your hand. And then you can also tribute one other attack position water monster, and then he can make a second attack during each battle phase. So those are the only two big ones I play. Abyss Gund is one of the ones you're usually wanting to search off of Abysseus, because you can discard this card to the graveyard, or sorry, if it's discarded to the graveyard, you can target a Mermail in your graveyard and special summon it. So that's a way of, if you have to discard Megalo, then to special summon it back. Just really good combo potential. Abyss Pike, just one of him as well. You're gonna, if it's normal or special summoned, you can discard a water monster to the graveyard and then add a level 3 water monster from your deck to your hand. And the last Mermail that we play is Abyssmander, mostly because, or only because, True King of All Calamities did not get banned, and so if you have one of each of these Mermails on the board, him in your graveyard, you just banish him, increase their levels by 2, so they become 2 level 9s, and then therefore you can go into your True King of All Calamities and probably win. So, good card to have. Again, he's only there to go into True King of All Calamities. If you don't want to go into that card, don't want to play that, you can just cut him simply. Maybe play a second Abyss Gund, but that's it for the Mermails. Next really good engine we're playing is the Atlantean. 3-net Abyss. It's one of the best cards to start with. I'd say probably Deep Sea Diva is the best one to start with, but this is the key to everything basically in this deck, to getting your combos going and your plays going, because this allows you to send an Atlantean monster from your deck to the graveyard and then add an Atlantean from your hand. And if this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect, so off of like Abysseus or Megalo, you could target an Atlantean in your graveyard and special summon it. So just really, really good potential with this card. And it's level 1. That comes up for like 1-for-1 is really nice to use with that. And then we play 3 Atlantean Dragoons. This card is amazing. Again, it's just another one that extends your plays. Basically, when this is sent to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect, you can add a Sea Serpent type monster from your deck to your hand. Not once per turn. Amazing. And then we play just 1 Heavy Infantry. If this is sent to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect, you can target a face-up card your opponent controls and destroy it. And then we play 1 Marksman. This is going to target a set card and destroy that. So they come up. Now on to the Deep Seas that we are playing. 3 Diva. Again, this is probably this is your best normal summon. When you normal summon it, you can special summon level 3 or lower Sea Serpent type, which is almost always going to be Net Abyss. But you can do, you have a few targets for it. Really good. And then 3 Deep Sea Ministrel. These are the only Deep Seas I'm playing. I cut a few of them. Basically, you discard this and 1 water monster from your hand, and you look at your opponent's hand, banish 1 card until the end phase. That comes up, obviously, to get information and just get rid of maybe like a Nibiru or anything like that, because you're normally going to be special summoning more than 5 times, so getting rid of a Nibiru and just gaining hand knowledge, what your opponent's playing, is really good. And then we are also, a new addition to my deck, is a small little frog engine, 3 Swap Frog, and 1 Ronin Tonin. At the end of this video, I'll show you a quick little combo that takes advantage of Swap Frog, just to show you why I chose to go with it. Pretty much the only reason is to gain easier access to Totally Awesome, because it's just a really good, it's your best negate basically in the deck. And then for some tuners that we have, Fishborg Launcher, you just need it in the grave and then you can just special summon it. And then Lapis Dragon, it's a Sea Serpent, so you can search it off of Dragoons, and then you can just special summon it for free, and it's a level 5 tuner. So just a free monster on board, basically, for both of them. Play the Gamma Seal. Again, it's just another water if you need to discard, or obviously go in second. Nothing wrong with having a Kaiju. And then Moulin Glacia is just an amazing card. Just rip 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. All you have to have is just 5 water monsters in your graveyard, and you'll special summon it. Absolutely amazing. That is it for the monsters. Of course, quite a few. That's kind of how water decks go. You want, a lot of monsters in your hand. And for our spells, playing 2 Deep Sea Aria. Basically, you're just going to banish a water monster from your graveyard and then add a level 4 or lower Sea Serpent from your deck to your hand. So that will, of course, search out any of your Deep Seas, Deep Sea Diva, Deep Sea Ministrel, or your Atlanteans. So like Net Abyss. Really good card. I like it at 2, just because you don't want too many spells. In this deck, you'd rather more monsters, and this is only once per turn. 1 Abyss Scale of the Mizuki. This is your search off of Megalo, and it's just a spell negate basically, and then it makes your Megalo or whatever Mermail you have it equipped to gain 800 attack. And then Monster Reborn, you're going to load up your graveyard super easily, so just getting a free special summon. 1 for 1. You activate it, you probably should win, because you're special summoning your Net Abyss and not even using up a normal summon. Really good. Called by the Grave. This deck searches a lot, so there's a lot of opportunity for like an Effect Veiler, Ghost Ogres, Ash Blossom, basically anything, so Called by the Grave is important. Instant Fusion. We had space kind of in the extra deck. We made space for Mud Dragon basically, for just, again, easier access to Shark, which then gets us access to Totally Awesome. So just a free card in there. Foolish Burial. Couple targets. Mostly it's going to be either Fishborg Launcher or your Abyss Mander. So you got a couple good targets for that. And then some draw power, Pot of Avarice. You'll be able to pretty much load up 5 monsters in your graveyard fairly easily. So that's a draw 2. And then Upstart Goblin, just draw 1. Really nice to have. That is it for the main deck. Of course, with Upstart Goblin, we are playing 40 cards in the main. For the extra, the newest addition is going to be Coral Anemone, a fresh new reprint. Super cheap now and super good. You're going to be able to target a water monster with 1500 less attack in your graveyard and special summon it to a zone it points to. The only stipulation is you won't be able to special summon water monsters for anything except for water monsters for the rest of the turn. But usually that doesn't matter. You're doing this kind of later in your combos anyway. Play the 1 Abyssalacia. This is nice to end on your board with, because during your opponent's turn, you'll be able to send a card from your hand to the graveyard and then add a Mermail from your deck to your hand. So just kind of reload your hand with whatever you need. And if this card is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, or attack, you can send a water monster from your deck to the graveyard and then target a water monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So it's kind of a cool card to have. And then monsters it points to gain 500 attack and defense. We're also playing an Area. If your opponent has a water monster in their grave, you just get a free summon of that to your field. Nice card to have, and also opens up 2 zones It's a spellcaster water, so that'll come up with a card I show you here pretty soon. You play a Mistar Boy, just requires 2 waters, and it helps you gain some attack again. And then mostly that area is really nice to go into Curious, because you need 3 monsters with the same attribute, which that's no problem in this deck, but you need them to be different types. So a lot of times you'll want to take like 2 Aquas or 2 Sea Serpents and make area to get a spellcaster to then go into Curious, and usually this is used to send your Fishborg launcher for just a free tuner, but opens up just more possibilities. Really nice to have. And then for our synchros, Brionac is our level 6. You just discard any number of cards at the graveyard, target the same number your opponent controls, and return those to the hand. Nice to have. Prima Donna is our level 7. It's also a tuner, so if you have like a level 1, you can also go up into a level 8 synchro. Your opponent cannot target synchro monsters that use this card as material with monster effects, so that's nice. And then also you can target one of your opponent's banished cards, add to your hand, or special summon a level 4 or lower water monster from your deck. And if you do, they get to add that banished card back to their hand. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 banished card and shuffle it into the deck. But like I said, sometimes you'll just want to be using it to then go up into add Emancipator Ryzen, because then he won't be able to be targeted with card effects, and he is just a really good negate. When your opponent activates a spell or trap card while a water monster is in your graveyard, which is always, you negate the activation and destroy it. Really nice to have. And then our 9s, we're playing Atrishula. You all should know what that does by now. Pretty much for going second. And then Ravenous Croco Dragon is really nice. If it's synchro summoned, you'll draw cards equal to the number of non-tuners used for its synchro summon. And then you can discard 2 cards and then target 1 card in the field and destroy it. So again, you can get off some of your water monsters' effects with that. And then he also gains 500 attack and defense for each card in your hand. The reason we're playing 2 is sometimes it's easy, not easy, but sometimes you can go into 2 level 9 synchros, and then obviously you can overlay them and go into your True King of All Calamities. Doesn't come up very often, but it's a possibility. And for our Xyz, play the 1 Shark, and he is only there to make our Totally Awesome, which we have many ways of making him. And our 7 is Red Eyes Flare Metal. It's going to do some burn damage, can't be destroyed by card effects. Pretty nice. Obviously, if you have Mermail Abyss Gaios, that would be the better option here. And then we play the True King of All Calamities. Amazing card if you can go into it. And then our instant fusion target is Mud Dragon. Again, he's level 4 water, worm type, so you can go into Curious with him, or go into Shark, Bahamut Shark. So that is the deck, guys. Let me show you just a real quick combo with our Swap Frog, Deep Sea Diva, and Abysseus. Not too difficult to get to this. We'll play them all at 3. So you're going to normal Diva to summon, where is he? Our Atlantean Prince. And then he's going to send Dragoons, add Dragoons to your hand. And then Dragoon's effect will add our Mulan Glacia to our hand. And then we're going to use Abysseus, discarding the Dragoons. Sorry, I should show the graveyard. And then we're going to have Dragoon's effect and Abysseus effect. And we are going to search our Gund and our Megalo. Now from here, we can summon out our Swap Prog, by sending the Megalo to the grave. And then Swap Frog will send Ronin Toaded to the grave. And at the moment we have 4, doesn't matter too much for Moon Glacier. We'll get to that in a moment. We're going to use Swap Frog's effect, return them to the hand, and then you're going to send Gund to the grave to then summon back the Swap Frog. Gund's effect and Swap Frog's effect will go off. We'll send another Swap Frog, and then Gund will special Megalo. Let me see if I can move all these over. Okay, so Swap Frog's in our grave. So we have 5 in the grave, but we don't have any space on the board. So from here, we want to take these 2 and go into whatever you want. As far as link, we're going to go into Abyssalacia. Trying to keep it in a spot where we can see it. And then we're going to be summoning, so we're going to banish Swap Frog to summon Ronin Toaded. And now we have 5 in the grave, so we can special summon out Moon Glacier. And actually, you probably would want to do it this way. Moon Glacier is going to rip 2 cards out of our opponent's hand, and then from here, just simply make our Totally Awesome, and then we can make our Red Eyes Flare. So rip 2 cards out of their hand, negate anything, and then anytime they activate an effect, you're going to inflict 500 damage to them. Again, if you have Abyss Gaios, which I'm going to be getting soon, hopefully, that'll be a better one, because that's going to negate monster effects for you. But yeah, this is not bad just off of those 3 cards. But yeah, so if you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.